You are now listening to The Garden of Thought.
The Garden of Thought.
They talk about the possibility of life outside of our solar system.
About mythology.
Unexplained edges of reality.
And the Gospel of Thomas is hosted by Mr. Thomas and
Jeff Lippman.
Welcome, everyone, to, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off and say this is GoD presents the Gospel of Thomas. So GoD presents the GOT. PJ will be back allegedly next week, as will Thomas, when we're talking to Vinny Pacifico. But today we don't want to give a short shrift to our guest. So obviously, Thomas, he already blew that lead. But our guest is Max Smashmaster, man of many names, including I saw on your page that you're actually also part of the Sentai Death Squad, or had been part of the Sentai Death Squad.
Yeah, I'd love to get into that.
We will happily do so. So, first, I guess, Thomas, how's it going, man? How are you?
I'm chilling, living the dream. I got my big dog on here, my favorite person in wrestling, my big brother and small brother at the same time, Max Smashmaster. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. Still text him to this day to ask him what my spots are, because I don't know what I do.
Promos and everything.
I don't know my moveset, brother.
And Max, how's it going? Max Smashmaster, man of many names, but as I understand, you were a tag team partner with this man, Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, I was tag team partner with him. My favorite memory in wrestling is winning a tag team championships in the ECW arena. Just a couple of dumb kids.
Who would have thought?
It was the best on iPay-per-view. I always throw that in there for the young kids these days. Not everything was streamed back then, but boy, oh boy, did we have some times. Text Thomas every single day. Literally like my big black brother.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Now you both call each other the big brother. I mean, Thomas, I know, is a tall man. You're listed here on Cage Match as 6'4". So, I mean,
I am 6'4". I'm not a liar.
He's equally as tall as me somehow.
Yeah.
But I'm 5'5". I don't know how that works.
It's the lifts.
Movie magic.
It's the beard. Your beard gives you lift. So, all right. So, I guess let's hear a little bit of you. Tell us your origin story.
Oh, it's been a while. About 2004, I was 16 years old, decided it's time to get into professional wrestling. Loved it my whole life. Can't remember a time where it wasn't part of my life, right? There wasn't one like aha moment. It was just always there. My brother watched it, so I think I was immediately indoctrinated into the world of Hulkamania and Ultimate Warrior, and then Bret Hart. Second Bret lost, I was a Shawn guy. Second Shawn lost, I was an Austin guy. And then so on and so forth until it was time. I needed to be in the wrestling business. So I trained in Manchester, New Hampshire, and just started working. Worked as much as I could until I got to Chikara. And what was that, 2012, Thomas? I think it must have been 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to Chikara in 2012, and we were off to the races. Took a little hiatus there in about 2016 due to a health condition, but I was training. So I'm also the owner of New England Pro Wrestling Academy in North Andover, Massachusetts.
Nice.
You may know such names as Tommaso Ciampa, Kofi Kingston, Mercedes Moné, so on and so forth. All came from that school. Granted, I did not train them. I just own it now.
All right.
And I'm very happy to say that we own the name Killer Kowalski School of Professional Wrestling because he was there until 2008 when he passed away. He was there every Saturday in the same building that I own now. So just really cool, and came back in about 2020 when I got the doctor's okay. And I've been here and there, just popping up locally, and started a promotion, which I'm very proud of. And I work very hard on, and yeah, that's what I've been doing since then. But that's my story in a nutshell.
That's good. Thomas, what were you going to say?
I said a good story at that, but I'm glad that our stories got to cross paths, and we're still bonded at the hip until this day. Appreciate it.
To this day.
So we just
Every
use
day.
Wrestling really as an icebreaker, sometimes a crotcher, and sometimes stories come up. I do want to find out why you're drinking from a baby's cup. I mean, that is a question.
It was the first one I grabbed out of the cabinet. I got most of them are baby's cups.
New dad?
Well, I have an 8 and a 5-year-old, so they think they're babies, but
okay,
they're getting there.
Well, you're the one drinking from the baby cup, so
I'll always be a baby.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there's no hold on to that. There's no shame in that at all. All right. I don't know if this resonates with you at all, Max. It really doesn't resonate so much with me, but I know Thomas is a Philly guy, and we cannot ignore that yesterday was the Super Bowl and the Eagles destroyed the Chiefs. So, Thomas, is this something that you're celebrating, or now being a Floridian, do you not care?
I watched 0 seconds of anything that happened last night. I could give less fucks about anything that happens in or around the city of Philadelphia. I wish everyone that lives there the worst, and only from the covers that I've seen on the interwebs, it only proves my point on why I put my nose in the air, and I'm better than those people because I went to work today because I didn't get drunk, wasted, and tear down light poles because of a child's football game.
So yesterday I was on a pregame podcast NFL show for a friend of mine, a cyber friend, and we do a UFL podcast. Well, he does a UFO podcast, I do a UFL podcast. Excellent. And so we cross paths sometimes. Anyway, the guy who comes on, who's the co-host on his UFL podcast, is a Philly guy. He's all dressed up, and he lets it be known that he was signed to a record album. Like he's like, I was signed to a record deal this year. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm signed. Apparently he goes by Equinox, and he's mostly on Spotify. And anyone? No, me either.
It sounds like Vin Gerard.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Well, listen, I'm excited to know somebody who signed a record contract.
No, that's great.
Yeah, Max Smashmaster, did you watch 1 second of football, or did you get dragged to a Super Bowl party?
A party? I have 2 children.
By party, I mean a gathering of humans where people.
I played video games with my children until they went to bed.
What game?
I played video games alone.
What game are these?
What are the kids? We played Minecraft with the kids.
Go to bed.
We played some Minecraft. It's easy.
What are you on right now?
I am
because I know we don't
incredibly deep into From Software games, which are like Elden Ring and Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro. And I play them over and over.
Hours of screen time.
I get like 1 to 2, maybe 3 nights a week. Yeah, it's not. I don't get that much time anymore. It's crazy.
Thomas, does he know our mutual friend?
He does not. But in our parallels, my childhood friend Johnny would be Max Smashmaster's Troy Nelson.
Okay.
Which is like literally the person he grew up with, attached at the hip, watching wrestling, and have analyzed wrestling probably to this very day. But I think when I initially sent him the text message, I said, my mutual friend is like, you're Troy. Talking about our connection, Jeff, you and I, our mutual friend's my childhood Troy. So he knows what that means. So he understands where I'm coming from.
I think from now on, I want a code name for him just so that we don't spill out his last name. So I'm thinking like, we can do Marty McFly, the time travel thing, or Aerostar from Lucha Underground, which is, so I'd like to go with Aerostar if we can all remember it.
We wrestled that guy one time.
We did wrestle Aerostar.
All right, well, let's go there. Let's talk about that. I mean, first of all, I don't understand if the man can travel through time, how he ever loses a match.
Maybe he starts a new timeline every time, so he doesn't necessarily know what's going to happen.
You hear that?
Somebody saw Loki.
Right top of his head with the wackiness.
That's fine.
I understand.
Yeah.
Learn to work.
Yeah. I mean, I figured that it might be like Ragnarok, that the fate, you can't avoid it. You just lean into it. It's going to be what it's going to be. All right. That's fine. So anyway, Max, how'd you come upon Max Smashmaster? Or was it hoisted upon you?
It was thrust upon me, yes. So I showed up to a Chikara event. I kind of hassled the promoter, Mike Quackenbush, and said, I want to work here. Hassled some other people, told them to tell him that I wanted to work there. And eventually he was tired of me enough to the point where he's like, I'm going to give you Thomas. He's my problem child. And you're going to have to babysit him. So I babysat him. And, I knew that the gimmick was going to be something of the sorts of LOD, demolition, kind of like time travel. Like we were just kind of plucked out of the 80s and popped into the aughts. And I didn't know the name until maybe a few months before we debuted. Remember, Thomas, we got like an email with the names.
Yeah.
And to say I wasn't like thrilled with the name is an understatement. It's just lame. But the way it was explained, it's like, yes, these names are lame, but if you just play them and straight face them, they will just become normal. Nobody will care, and they will just become you. And as long as you're doing a good job, no one's going to care what your name is. So that's what it was, and that was a great lesson to learn. And we did that, and nobody cared.
Nobody gave a shit.
It was a great way for people to remember our names. They knew our names, even if they never saw us. They'd see them. People would tweet all the time. It's like, I heard there's wrestlers named Blast McMassive and Max Smashmaster, and they're my new favorite team. I've never seen them wrestle. And that was all the time back when Twitter was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great.
They sound like video game, like from Rampage or something. They sound like video game character names, which I would think that maybe you guys would like.
To this day, I love it. Then in the instant, I was like, oh, this is lame. But I was young and naive, and now I understand it.
I wanted your name. When I first got the email, I thought Max Smashmaster was the better of the two names. But I was like, I feel like I'm getting hosed on this one. I think it's the McMaster. I think it was
you were Irish.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part. But also, I want to go back to that time because once upon a time, you had a small business in, I can't remember the name of the town.
Andover.
In Andover, you had a burger joint. Tell me more about the burger joint. I forget the name of it right now. I feel like it was just like sauce or salsa or something.
Literally just named sauce. Burgers, wings, and ribs. Yeah. So
good. Tell me the pros and cons of being a business owner then at that time, and tell me what you learned from the restaurant that translates into how you run your wrestling school. Is my biggest question.
How I run my wrestling school.
Hear me out. What are the things that you in that transition to? Because I know it's two different worlds, but like, what do you learn as a small business owner, and how do you take that into the professional wrestling world?
Good question. So, quick story just about owning a business, especially a restaurant, is you learn very quickly two things. You learn this depends on you, and you also learn that you cannot depend on people to care about your business as much as you do. And that translates to wrestling in the sense that, hey, you got all these ideas for characters and stories and longevity and long-term, yada, yada. If you just go out there and expect these wrestlers, and I'll tell you, most of them are my students. If you just expect them to immediately buy in, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You have to engage them in a way that excites them about what you're doing, and then be the hardest working person in the room, sitting at a chair and dictating how they're supposed to do everything from set up the ring to wrestle their matches and all that. It can't be done from a lazy standpoint. Like, you have to show them that you're working hard. You're promoting, which is a big thing that I find is lost in a lot of professional wrestling. It's like, no one's looking for your promotion.
Zero.
No one's out there like, God, I wish I had another wrestling promotion to pay attention to. Nobody is doing that. We're so saturated. The sponge is leaking, right? You have to, and I'm 2 years in, and I'm finally starting to see like, okay, tickets are selling before I announce stuff. That's a good sign. I just said today, before my last show, I had like a pre-sale record that I kind of held in my head, right, of how many pre-sales, and I hit that a week out just now. So my next show is on Saturday. So I hit that today. I'm like, okay, this is a great sign, right? People are invested. One, I put that on that I book quality talent, and two, I put it on that I promote the hell out of it. You have to be boots on the ground, engaging with anyone who wants to engage with you, whether it's a question on Twitter, a question on Facebook, anywhere anyone's engaging, engage right back. Tell them that you're invested in them as a customer. And that goes back to the restaurant industry, is right. If someone says something good about you, you must engage just as much as when they leave a bad Yelp review. Because if they leave a bad Yelp review and all people ever see is you attacking the attacker, you are now the heel in that sense.
Absolutely.
You are showing people that they are right. You are now the bad guy. So just being, you have to be ever present, and you just have to work super hard and take every day as it comes. There's a lot to it. Obviously, running a wrestling promotion may be a little bit easier than running a 7-day-a-week small business where you depend on people to show up for work, and something that's as difficult as restaurant work and as turnover heavy as restaurant work. But yeah, there's a lot of lessons. Those are the two main ones: is dedicate your life to it, and then don't expect anyone else to unless you engage them.
Yeah, I always felt personally for me when the lack of salesmanship that just doesn't exist among some people at a time where, not so much now, but back then we were so reliant on the merch table and how unwilling people were to just simply engage with the people who were standing in front of them. And like, I know it's in this day and age, it's cool to be socially awkward and weird and not want to talk to people. But when it relies on the money going in your pocket, you just cannot allow that. As much as we all want to be shy, we don't want to talk to anyone. I get that. But there's someone in front of you with a pocket full of money willing to spend it. Just say hi. And like, I felt that the one thing that you picked up on, or that you also had naturally, was like my willingness to reach out and like yell at someone that's 5 rows over. Like, no, bro, come close, come take a look, see how it is. And then you look down the row and the most popular guy on the roster will have, 10 people in front of their table and they're, crisscross applesauce, just no one's begging for a t-shirt.
Yes.
And I feel like half of the reason why we sold so much shit was we were just willing to talk to people and get the fat guy sizes. But
always got to have the 4 and 5X.
There you go. That's a secret. Yeah, trade secret. So I saw in your I did a little research and it said that your promotion, you want to be a love letter to Chikara. And this is going to lead to something, because I think that one of the things that you're probably discovering, one of the reasons why you have the pre-sale success that you're having within 2 years of it, is because you have a brand, and your brand is different than everything else there, because there's wrestling on every single night. It's always on YouTube. Like you said, nobody needs to leave their house to go to wrestling. No one needs to leave their house to do anything, frankly, any longer. As I learned once my wife broke her leg and we started using Uber Eats and Uber Grocery and DoorDash, and I'm like, I don't need to go anywhere. So, and you see on Twitter, you said Twitter's not fun anymore, and you're right. But people said, well, they haven't sold tickets, but the card's not announced. I'm like, people don't buy tickets for a card. They buy tickets for a brand that they trust is going to give them a good time. Now, maybe in an indie, if Maryland Championship Wrestling, if they have Megan Bain at the top of the card and they bring in Dijak, maybe I'm going to be more inclined to buy a ticket. Maybe. But I'm already in the IWC. That's not going to appeal to like your average Joe. They're not going to know who that is. So 2 things. One, I missed the whole Chikara thing. I was on a hiatus, and my kids were probably 12 and 9 at the time, or 11 and 8. And they had already been through the wrestling and growing out of it phase by then. Me, I never grew out of mine. I saw Antonio Inoki and Muhammad Ali, and I never grew out of it. So, I don't know what that says, but anyway. So tell me a little bit about Chikara, because I know it was like sort of wacky, crazy, sort of like Lucha Underground before there was Lucha Underground, and tell me how you try to recapture that.
So the thing about Chikara, which on the surface level, people saw funny clips on YouTube, right? Because that's kind of what set them apart. But Chikara also existed in a time when TV wrestling sucked. It sucked so bad. You cannot sit there and tell me everything from 2013, not even, we can go further back. Let's say 2007 to 2021, WWE sucked. It was bad. The promoting's great, but the storylines didn't matter because they would change and then people would flip-flop and everyone would be friends afterwards. And like, it was like a nonstop roller coaster of like, hey, you don't have to pay attention. You're not rewarded for watching. Chikara, on the surface level, with what you saw on YouTube, was like, this is wacky. Look at all these crazy characters. And then when you got into it, you realized like, oh, wait a minute. There's more going on here. There's actual stories being built in here. There's characters that have actual conflict with each other. There's a reason for these matches to be happening. And when there's a reason for the matches to be happening, you're more likely to pay attention. Cold matches, nonstop, all the time is kind of a detriment to wrestling. If you look at wrestling as a form of storytelling, you have to tell the story through and through. So people they'd say, I'm going to go check out this wacky wrestling. And then they get in there and be like, wait, there's more going on here. Let me dive in. And then if you really wanted to, because sometimes you have like a thirst for wrestling or a hunger for wrestling that's almost insatiable, especially when you're younger. It's like, I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. And if you're constantly filling your brand. I'm going to use a word lore that a lot of kids use, but like if you're filling it with lore and filling it with ideas and you're filling it with a bunch of crumbs for people to pick up, they're going to keep coming back and picking up those crumbs. They're gonna follow the trail. And I think they did a great job with that, which it got me before, because the reason I wanted to work there was like, oh, I got it. Like it clicked with me. I wanted more out of my wrestling. I was tired of watching wrestling that didn't matter. I liked stories. And I think a lot of people, and this happens to me too, is like a lot of people wrestled there because it was a place to wrestle, where I wrestled there because I wanted to wrestle there, right? I wanted to wrestle for Chikara. I fell in love with the idea of King of Trios, and I watched one of them, and I like the story was so incredible. Like the through story for the show was incredible, and then I got to see like Generico versus 1-2-3 Kid, and Sean Waltman shaved his beard for it. I was like, what's going on? Like, why would he do that for here? What? There's got to be some appeal, unless they paid him an ungodly amount of money, which we know didn't happen. But right, he shaved his beard that he was almost known for just to portray 1-2-3 Kid. He had full 1-2-3 Kid gear. Like, that's pretty special. And then when I got there, like things kept happening. There was a lot of a love letter to the 90s wrestling that I grew up on. I got to work with a lot of people that I grew up watching. Like, I don't know, it gave me an opportunity to just love wrestling in a way that I hadn't in a long, long time. And I think that is the big thing that grabbed a lot of people. It gave them an opportunity to love wrestling like they did when they were a kid.
Are you a writer?
No.
So how do you come up with the stories, or do you have a team, or do you have the students sort of pitch stories to you?
So I've always been like super duper creative. My normal, job is I'm a chef. I'm actually a food scientist now, so I do R&D. So I have to like constantly create things.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love characters. Like I was big into creative characters when I was a kid. But a lot of my learning from wrestling came from Ciccar's, like how to create characters. I picked poor Quack's brain over text. He was probably so mad that he gave me his phone number. But I just wanted to know, like, why? Why are we doing this? What does this matter? And how do you make exciting characters? And how do you make storylines that matter? And every once in a while, I'll reach out to him and be like, hey, I got XYZ. This is the issue. So-and-so can't make it. Like, how do I further this story? And he'll like give me a few things. And that's very few and far between. I don't reach out to him all the time. The majority of the characters from Rad Pro Wrestling all just kind of come off my brain. And a lot of them are like pulled from tropes from the 90s.
Sure.
So, right, we have like a gangsta granny. Like, every sitcom had a granny in it, right? And they'd be wacky. And then you mix it with being a gangster rapper. Boom, you have something that no one's ever done before. And that's one of the big lessons is like, hey, Thomas, I need you to be a tough guy who gives the middle finger and wears black short trunks, and you don't say much, and you walk with a swagger, and you do the Stone Cold Stunner. Are you going to be able to do that character better than Stone Cold Steve Austin? No. So you have to have something that someone's never seen before, and you need to be able to portray it. And honestly, sometimes you fail, sometimes you pass, but it really just comes down to like, oh, you can't fail because you've never seen this before. So first time seeing it, that's what it is. It's just, that's the character.
How do you incorporate, or do you, when you bring in, appearance talent? Maybe it is a big name from, recently released from a bigger promotion, or they're
Dijak.
Big Josh. Oh, Big Josh.
I literally have Dijak on my next show.
So how do you incorporate them into the ongoing stories? Do you not even bother? Are they hired hitman? Are they a surprise fill-in? Or do you they're the featured match, the stories go around them, and they're the top card draw?
Sometimes they'll come in just as like, oh, we have so-and-so. So like I'm going to give a very brief synopsis on what Rad Pro Wrestling is so people will understand what we're talking about. Rad Pro Wrestling takes place in the 90s. All the characters are current local indie characters, are current local indie talent that portray unique characters that would exist in the 90s.
Saved by the Bell.
That one's coming. The team of Eric Lesko
It writes
and
itself.
Reggie, come on.
Reggie, come on.
The red
Reggie,
hot
come on, my
young
favorite wrestler.
babyface tag team of come on, let's go.
Love to see it.
So right, like, and when I do it, we'll just say Donovan Dijak, who's the Red Wolf of Russia, Tsar Bomba, Volk Milika. He's a Russian. That's a pretty simple character. I try to give them simple one-off characters if they're coming in just as like a one-off match. Granted, Dijak is a little bit more expensive than my normal talent, so it's hard to put a lot of storyline behind it. But it's very easy to say that on commentary, I have an unbelievable commentary team, and I'll hold them up against anyone else. Top Shelf Troy Nelson puts talent over better than anyone I've ever heard.
You know what else he does? He reads a good promotional ad. So if you're looking to sponsor Rad Pro Wrestling, please reach out accordingly.
Yes, he does read a great promotional ad. He went to school for communications, and he can talk. He can talk a blue streak. But I just give him a little bit of flavor text. Volk Milika is the Russian character that I gave Dijak. When I promote him, I say, this is Donovan Dijak appearing as Volk Milika. So I don't get away from saying that he's Donovan Dijak. I still get the promotion of saying Donovan Dijak's appearing. And then I tell Top Shelf Troy Nelson he wrestled bears in Russia because he's basically just Zangief from Street Fighter. So he wrestled bears in Russia. He's undefeated against bears. That's enough to make him a threat. And then he comes in and he wrestles Lynx Panther, who's a pogo stick hopping, Mountain Dew fueled hacker.
He's a viral machine, that kid.
What's that?
He's a viral machine.
He's a viral machine. He didn't want to use the pogo stick, but that's a whole nother story. But right, I try to do it. And then honestly, the first time I use anyone is almost like a test run. I want to see how invested they are. If they come in and I tell people, you don't have to get any gear. You can wear what you want. You can wear your trunks inside out. I don't care. Wear whatever you can. Just portray the character and be dedicated to the character from curtain to curtain. You can sell merch as you. You can put out all your normal merch. I don't care. Sell whatever you want. But curtain to curtain, portray your character that I'm asking you to portray.
So it's like improv. They can be you can have Saturday Night Live characters, but it's still Chevy Chase selling stuff. But he's doing a role.
Exactly.
What do you think your success rate is on that overall? How's that working out so far?
Honestly, it's been better than I thought.
Less turnover than the restaurant.
Yeah. It's harder to corral 20 wrestlers and 20 staff. But no, I think people initially thought it was stupid. I understand that. Don't get me wrong.
We can relate.
It's an insane idea.
Yeah.
My old business partner, Brian Malonis, said he's the only person who's not on drugs who books like he's on drugs.
Wait, Brian Malonis from Ring of Honor?
Yeah. He lives 15 minutes from me. We've been friends for a while. We were business partners for the first year, but he didn't necessarily have time for it. Things fell through and just me, but no hard feelings. Love him. Still my bud.
Well, shout out. I'm a Baltimore guy, so I saw a lot of Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah. No, Brian's awesome.
Yeah, I remember when they were doing the NWA crossover for that brief minute before everyone got to know Marty Scurll too well. But it was a very exciting time until it wasn't. All right, so I want to hear about the Sentai Death Squad because I was always wondering who are those guys, and I remember seeing a guy that was big, and I'm like, is that just Max Kruder pretending to be somebody else in the background? Who else is 6'4" around there? I'm like, and then sometimes Mads would come in and like, well, no, can't be in two places at the same time. Their production isn't that good. So, so that was you. They actually you actually have a role. You're soldier number 2, by the way.
So I'm going to let you know.
Spoil it.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Someone put it on Twitter it's Blasphemy
Breaking news.
Max Smashmaster. And it wasn't me. I was at home. And then I have a buddy who works at Cage Match, and he's like, hey, do you want me to remove this from your thing? I was like, no, it gives me an MLW date, so just leave it on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they still have random guys and luchador masks, so what's the difference?
Yeah, they could say it's me. I mean,
they only think it's
unless
you.
he's stunk.
Yeah. Well, I know who it was. I'm not going to expose it here. I'll tell you guys.
I didn't see the match. I have no idea how he was.
But it's no big deal. Neither here or there.
I mean, they're palookas, though. They're supposed to be the ones that everybody gets. Though occasionally it was like 5 of them in a match, and they were supposed to be real. But most of the time, they're like the goons from Batman who pow
Yeah.
blam. So
And you need those. You
yeah,
you
no,
definitely need you need
yeah.
hammerheads, as we call them sometimes.
All right. So I know you didn't see the Super Bowl, Thomas. Max, I think that you sort of echoed that as well.
No,
How about the
didn't see a
commercials?
second of it.
Did you see any of the Super Bowl commercials? Do you follow that stuff at all?
I went to look at some of them today, but I was at work and I got pulled away, and I didn't end up doing it.
All right. So I'm going to
Yeah,
try
sorry,
tying.
we're killing the pod right now.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's my bad.
gonna-
Not 1 second wasted.
it's all right. I'm going to try to tie one in that's going to work anyway because of what the two of you both love, which is food and also the 90s. And so when Harry met Sally was in the 90s, so they recreated the scene with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan now in the same deli, or what was supposed to be the same deli. And of course, she got a sandwich, and then she, and it's a Jewish deli in New York City, it's supposed to be, and she gets mayonnaise. And then, the sandwich is so good that she, has the orgasmic reaction. And Sydney Sweeney is sitting 2 tables over, and she's the old lady instead, but she's the young girl going, I'll have what she's having. So it's cute, except this is a Jewish deli in New York City. They don't put mayonnaise on sandwiches there.
Yeah.
This is America. They'll put whatever you want on somewhere in New York City because I'll pay money for it.
Yeah, you're putting mustard on that,
That's right. You're
or else
putting
you're
mustard.
getting asked to leave.
And for those listening, there's mayonnaise. You put mayonnaise in chicken salad. You put it in tuna salad. You mix it up in things. You mix it with ketchup and relish, and you have Russian dressing. But mayonnaise on sandwiches is not a thing in a Jewish deli in New York City.
I'm anti-mustard, so you can't fight this battle against me. I hate all things mustard. I'll die on this hill.
Yeah,
I make a like a 90s promotion where a man is an android. So I understand for the magic of television, put some mayonnaise on it.
Yeah, you gotta do.
Listen, I like mayo. I do. I'm not anti-mayo. Mayo's delicious.
Listen, Jeff, you don't got to get upset about
he's
the
all fired up.
mayonnaise in the commercial.
Listen,
Big
I'm putting a
Max, are you
promo of
cooking
mayonnaise.
dinners these days for the
Like
family?
cooking dinners?
Are you listen, as a chef, I know some people don't like to bring things home. So Monday to Friday, is it you or wifey in the kitchen? Because I've seen you just whip up stuff, whatever's left over in the fridge.
Yeah, so I like to do Sundays, and I'll make like 3 solid dinners for the week. Big fan of making some gnocchi with some sausage and vodka sauce and a little bit of broccoli rabe in there, and then some beef stew right about now. Make some beef stew, and then I'll usually make some stuff for the kids, which is just like plain chicken and cooked pasta, just so I can feed them the same thing every single night, and they'll smile at me.
And then you're set for the week.
Set for the week, yeah. I'm not doing it every night. Oof, brutal.
I've never understood how anyone can do that. It just doesn't even seem like it makes sense.
Every single night? The hell no. Not with kids.
I would even if I wouldn't even employ a chef to cook for me every single night.
The thing is, like, also there's always someone else in the kitchen with me, which makes me want to jump into a wood chipper. Like, get away from me. Especially if I'm in chef mode where I'm taking over the whole place. I gotta get my stuff in. I gotta set up my mise en place, and I just gotta knock it out. It doesn't help with my wife standing on my feet.
2 things. I have 2 questions here, and this is probably the last time I'll harp on the chef thing. It's just because I'm nosy about what people do. Number 1, do you watch these cooking shows that all these white girls go crazy about? They love these cooking contests, and this shit drives me crazy. And number 2, I watched The Bear only because you told me the episode when they turn on the Uber Eats machine was like too specific of a flashback for you. So
Yeah,
realism was there. Tell me more about how The Bear relates to real life.
I don't want to talk about it.
That made me watch the entire series just based off of your realism.
Yeah. The first one, I don't watch cooking competitions. I'd rather jump off a bridge. It's hard to watch those. They
was
are
realistic enough.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, I know this. I'm not going to be fun to watch it with, right? I'm not saying I'm the best chef in the world. I think that'd be insane to say. But I do know enough. I'm technically a certified executive chef by the ACF. I don't need to sit here and watch someone screw up food. That's going to drive me crazy. The Bear, on the other hand, is a great drama. They say it's a comedy. It's not. It's a drama about restaurant life and what it is to open a restaurant and how brutal it is, like mentally, physically brutal. And that episode, I think it's like a 7-minute episode and it's one shot. It's an excellent like bit of television. It's 7 minutes and it's one camera shot the entire way through. And it's about them turning on their online ordering system for the first time as like a review comes out, like an article on the newspaper, and the online ordering blows through the roof and they like can't keep up and he freaks the fuck out. Can I swear on this? Have I said the F word?
Yeah.
He freaks the fuck out. And like when I opened my restaurant, the second Sunday, we were in the newspaper, and Sundays like around that area were always slow. We didn't plan for it. It was just going to be a Sunday. We had just opened. Nobody knew we were open until they knew we were open. And I had a line of 40 people, and it was me and the guy I was training to cook behind me. And we sold out of every single thing we had. And it was like one of the hardest days of my life because it was just the two of us. And I ran out of food 4 hours, 5 hours before we closed because we had just like, it was unbelievable. Out the door, a line like you couldn't believe. People are getting upset. I'm like, there's two of us here. Can you not see this? Yeah, it was incredibly, and that watching that episode, I was like, I'll never watch this episode again. It's unbelievable. It makes total sense to me, but I don't want to see it. It was so real.
It's
Lisa did the research. I love that.
So I did watch a bunch of the cooking shows, mostly Top Chef. I watched it probably for about 10 seasons, then gave up. And I went to a bunch of the chefs' restaurants, when I was in different cities or whatever, sometimes by accident.
Top Chef has, correct me if I'm wrong, has actual chefs on it though, right? Like they're actual. Is Master Chef the one that's like home cooks?
Don't know.
There's one like I think Top Chef has like actual awesome chefs on it. That I can get into because like that's learning. Whereas Master Chef or like Mom's Home Baking or whatever, it's like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch these people, or like worst cooks in America. Why would I want to watch that? That makes me feel so bad about it.
So,
but yeah,
I mean, one thing it really made me appreciate that a chef at that level, it is a form of art. They are artists. You're an artist, which just never occurred to me before. It's not that I didn't think they were. It just the thought never entered my mind. The other thing is I sort of knew that my marriage was over when it's something I watched with my obviously my now ex-wife, and I thought like a great gift because we would go to these restaurants. We would go to, I forgot the brothers' names, but they're here in Maryland. They have a bunch of restaurants in Frederick and Baltimore, Washington D.C. Two brothers. One was the winner, one was the runner-up, and then they did something with a guy named Mike Isabella also. Anyway, Voltaggio. I knew.
Oh yeah, I know Voltaggio's.
So anyway, I mean, we got pictures with them. We framed them with the signed menu and all this stuff. We went to Daniel Blude's restaurant in Palm Beach, and anyway, it doesn't matter. So I bought her the Top Chef cookbook. I thought that would be a good gift. It's like, hey, you can try. Oh, Thomas is shaking. You see, he knew. Right. What was the reaction?
No. She lost her shit because now you're accusing her of not being able to cook.
That's exactly what she said. Where were you when I needed you like 15 years ago or whatever?
I know women. I don't know much, but I can see a bad reaction coming from a mile away.
Yeah, well, you were smarter than me then, and you're probably smarter than me now. But so that's my little Top Chef story. Did you ever see the movie The Menu?
Haven't seen The Menu. That's the horror movie, right?
It's a horror movie, but it takes place on a shishi restaurant on a private island, and it's with Anya Joy Taylor, who's a movie star. Not everybody who's in movies is a movie star, but she is a movie star. And it's, what's his name? Ralph Fiennes, whatever. He's in it.
I've seen like clips that kind of go viral where she asked him to make like a cheeseburger or something, right? Yeah. I've only seen that stuff.
You should see it. It's good. And then let us know if you like it or not. Because that's a movie. I mean, do you like horror movies at all?
No, but I'll watch it because it has food in it. And it's supposed to be about a good chef. The one I like the most is the movie Chef. It's just called Chef with Jon Favreau.
Okay.
That's an excellent one.
I wouldn't call it. It's more of a psychological thriller than a horror movie,
All right,
but
I'll take
it's
that.
easy to call it a horror movie. It's not like, but it's not. It's
Do
not
they
like a
eat
jump
people?
scare. What's that?
I can only assume they eat people in it. Like the menu's made of people.
It's not. It's
Oh.
deeper than that. It's not like a play on like lycanthropes or
Okay.
lycanthus. Actually, the bear is funny because as you know, Artusus is one of your names, and that means the bear or the bear man. So I wasn't sure if that was inspired by one by the other, but clearly not. So all right. So you didn't see the Super Bowl commercial, so we don't have to go through all those. But there were a couple. I mean, if you saw, did any of them appeal to you at all, or did they like scare the shit out of you?
The Super Bowl commercials?
Yeah.
I didn't see any of them.
Oh, I thought you said that you looked at some of them.
I was going to. Yeah, I was
okay.
going to. I didn't end up getting a chance to.
I'm a bad listener. That's why I'm a bad podcast.
Big Dog, what do you like right now in wrestling? What storylines are you here for? How are you feeling about the road to WrestleMania?
Pick one from each company. How about that?
Are you confused as I am? Because I don't know where we're going right.
I think Jey Uso having a shot at WrestleMania is great. I don't necessarily know if him winning is the right move against Gunther, but that's interesting to me. I do really like the promo that Cena cut at the press conference. It was very real. Like he was just excellent in his monologue there. So that's very, exciting. Whether they pull the trigger and he wins Elimination Chamber, or they hold that story off for him to maybe have his last match be against, for the world championship. Like that's very interesting to me.
Do or die?
Yeah, do or die. Like this is it. This is your last date.
Did they announce something in Boston last month of the year? Or is that an internet rumor that wasn't true? Did I get fooled by the internet?
Yes.
I don't know. They may have. That's like a great, right? Like he wrestles in Boston would be a great thing.
They're like the elite of the year. I like this.
Yeah, I don't know if they did or didn't, but if they did, it would sell out like crazy. And then the only thing I'm interested now in AEW is the Tony Storm and Mariah May story, which I think is the most understandable one that I've seen from them. It's really well done. It's well put together. It's got some cool stuff I've never seen before. That's the kind of thing that I'm very excited about in wrestling. I really loved the kind of final run of Bryan Danielson. That was a great thing last year. But yeah, I'll watch the Mariah May and Tony Storm match when it happens, whenever it happens.
All right, so we've already established that I'm the guy who watched the cooking shows. So obviously this next segue is going to be probably very obvious. What is up with Kendrick Lamar and Drake? Why don't we like Drake? Why don't they like each other? What is this all about? What's happening?
It's pretty simple. Yeah. Drake has relationships with younger girls. I don't necessarily know the extent of these relationships, but I know that he's at least been caught or called out for texting girls who are very young. I think Millie Bobby Brown was like
is young 18?
I think she was 14.
14 is very okay.
He
very young.
The mentorship, but you know what I mean? It's strange either way to me, but
yes. Now 14 is
it's too much.
Too much. I mean, unless you're related by blood.
I don't know much about Kendrick.
Okay. Good at rapping, the kids tell
me. That's it. That is what the kids tell me. I'm so old. Last night was the first time I had ever heard him rap. but yeah, they had like back and forth diss track battle, and Kendrick just like trounced him bad. Wrote that whole song, and I like the pettiness of him doing that at the Super Bowl. Great. And then they cut to Serena Williams crip walking during this whole thing, and that's his Drake's ex-girlfriend. So it's like, oh my God, that's prime storytelling for me.
Okay.
Unbelievable stuff. Just
the craziest part about it is the woman crip walking whose little sister was shot by gang members in Compton. That's when she was a child, which is even crazier.
It is crazy.
Circle of life. That's the only commentary.
Sometimes when you've been affected by something, you can reclaim it. Okay, Thomas?
Embrace it. My last question: what is your favorite video game system, and why is it PlayStation? Why is it
system or like individual system or
greatest video game system of all time, and why is it PlayStation 2?
Yeah, it's probably PlayStation 2. I don't know, that it's in that period of my life when I can't remember when it came out, 2001. How old was I? Probably 12. Between 12 and 19, that's what I had. And in my mind's eye, that's 45 years in today's eye, right? Like those
DVD player. That was just the craziest thing.
It had a DVD player, right? It would die. You'd have to open it up and fix it. Like there's so much to it. And the games were great. And yeah, that was just my childhood in a nutshell.
The last game I won on a console system was Top Gun on PlayStation 1.
Where'd you win it?
Where? Probably in the basement of my first house, a townhouse.
I figured.
Mount Washington, Maryland.
I love it.
21209. Technically, I think it's Brooklynville. Anyway, not important. All right. This is part of the Garden of Doom family of podcasts. So we have to have a little Doom in here. Are either of you aware of the fact that there were 46,000-year-old, a worm that was 46,000-year-old was thawed, came back to life, and now it's having baby worms?
No. 46,000-year-old? Where was it frozen at?
I think Siberia.
Siberia, that makes sense. And it's having baby worms.
It's having baby
worms. Are they
worms.
containing these baby worms? Or are they just letting them roam free? Because that might be an issue. I've seen movies.
Exactly. I mean, can you contain baby worms that are 46,000 years old? I mean,
is it a normal worm or just, I mean, I'm confused. Is there something special about this thing or should we be worried?
Well, I would assume that it carries, bacteria and viruses and microbes that, like, since there weren't many people around then, that maybe there's no immunities to, or they died out with the Neanderthals or something. I mean, I'm the Gardener of Doom. There's always things to be worried about. Whether it's reasonable or not, I can't tell you.
Man, I'm like the boom guy. Everything's good. I'm the opposite. Give me that worm. I'll eat it right now. I don't care.
Okay. Well, they're bringing back some megafauna like mastodons and like mega bison and mega horses and I don't know, just add mega to anything.
Yeah,
but
I've seen Jurassic Park before.
Yeah, I mean, is it more Jurassic Park or is it like you're gonna get in that and like have like wild mega game on your menu?
Now we're talking.
Yeah, see?
Now we're talking. Imagine a ribeye steak off a mastodon.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
$55 sold. Give me
$55. You can't even get a cow steak for $55 these days.
I know. Where are you eating?
Yeah. Thomas over here for a 300-ounce mastodon ribeye at $55.
I didn't say 300 ounce.
He's going to those places in Vegas where it's $9.99 for a steak.
In Mexico.
A fried Twinkie.
Plug your shit so we can get out of here.
You want me to plug my shit?
You have a long list, so
I do got a long list.
I know this weekend.
If you want to follow Max Smashmaster, don't. If you want to follow Rad Pro Wrestling, you can follow Rad Pro Wrestling on Facebook. Just type in Rad Pro Wrestling. You can also go to radprowrestling.com, Instagram at Rad Pro Wrestling, Twitter or X as they call it at Rad Pro Wrestle, RASSLE, because I screwed it up the first time and it got banned. So yeah, that's basically it. Follow us. We got a show on February 15th. Big event.
What if someone wants to be a professional wrestler? Where would they go?
I'm getting there. So big event, February 15th. You come see Donovan Dijak. So if you're in the Amesbury, Massachusetts area or anywhere around New England, make the trip. It's going to be an excellent show. I run a tight ship, 2 hours, bell to bell. Shouldn't go a second over.
Good intermission? You got an intermission in there?
Sometimes I throw a little tenner in there. So people can get up, get some hot dogs. Get some extra money, but 2 hours.
Put something out there, as Thomas may have forgotten. I have no control over when the show gets published. So just in case it doesn't get out in time for the 15th, what is your next show?
Next show is February 5th. It's April 5th. Excuse me. February just came out. April 5th. That is a matinee show. We're doing a doubleheader with APW, which is Atlantic Pro Wrestling in Newburyport, Massachusetts. That is the Tag Team Championship Tournament. Tag Team Championship Tournament. So we're crowning our first champions after 3 years of Rad Pro, or 2 years of Rad Pro Wrestling. We're in our third season.
My invite to that tournament must have got lost in my spam box because brother
too, because I didn't put
day.
myself in it. You think I'm going to lose a tag team tournament? You kidding me?
Is Devastation
got hosed on the last one? We're due for another one.
Yeah. What's that?
Is Devastation going to make a comeback?
Devastation Corporation is always open for business.
Pop up.
It's just whenever someone remembers that we exist, then we'll show up.
You've kept those annual filings and property taxes up.
Thomas, Jeff, do you work for MLW? Is that how Thomas knows you? No, I don't know.
Not yet.
He didn't tell me anything about you.
I don't. Well, I'm not an insider in the least. The closest I'm to insiders, I know Thomas and PJ. That's it.
Well, if anyone from MLW works or is listening to this because Thomas is on it, book me. I can work. Big old fatso doing backflips and stuff. I'll put Thomas over. I'll keep him in line for you, so you have to stop corralling him, stop calling the cops and stuff like that.
Good boy.
I'll finish this off with, if you want to be a professional wrestler in New England, or if you want to travel to New England to be a professional wrestler, there's only one place to go. That's the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. You can go find us on the internet at NE Pro Wrestling on Twitter, NE Pro Wrestling Academy on Instagram, and Facebook, New England Pro Wrestling. And then if you want to find us on the interwebs, it is www.ne, and when I say that, it's the letter N, the letter E, prowrestling.com. Thomas has something to say.
I do. Can you please explain real quick to Jeff exactly what a fantasy camp is? I mean, may not have one on the menu coming up. I know they sell out very quickly, but I think it's the greatest idea in the history of professional wrestling for the people who don't want to commit to the hundreds of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars it costs to go to wrestling school. Tell Jeff about the fantasy camps.
So fantasy camp is, have you ever wanted to be a professional wrestler? Even if you wanted to do it for one day, did you ever want to step through the ropes? Did you ever want to take a bump? Hell, maybe even jump off the top rope. But you don't want to be a professional wrestler, or maybe you do. The best way to get in is to pay $79, and we'll give you 5 hours of pro wrestling training amongst a bunch of other like-minded individuals, so you can all come together, not be ostracized, enjoy professional wrestling, even if it's just for one day. And let's say you enjoyed it so much you wanted to join, we'll give you a $500 off discount at the end of the camp so that you can join our team at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy.
I'm going to come up for the next one. I promise.
You want to join it? We actually sold out. The next one is the 16th, February 16th. So it's the day after my show. We just sold it out. 60 people.
I want to come up when it's not the winter time up there. I want to come.
We do one at the end of August. So the next one will be at the end of August. So if you're in the New England area,
come for a couple days, and then I'll hang out at the school. You teach me how to wrestle, and then I'll do a fantasy camp. So I can
like that.
See everyone that's trying to break into the biz.
Break into the biz.
Well, it sounds like a great birthday gift. It sounds like a great birthday party.
We've had bachelor's parties there.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right, that sounds very reasonable. And listen, New England in the summer is a great time to be in New England.
It is better than the winter, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And we know that Thomas is not a winter guy any longer. All right, Mr. Smashmaster, pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thomas did not tell me that you were a certified chef, so that was interesting. He told me you liked food.
I got a lot. Some people at work are like, how much more do you do? Just you wait.
Just you wait. Just getting started. All right. Thomas, you have anything that you want to plug? I know usually you pretend you don't want to, but I pull it out of you anyway.
Don't follow me if you want. It's Mocha Traps. I'm out there. The next MLW show will be the Battle Riot in Los Angeles. I don't know the date right now, but it's the first weekend in April, probably the 8th or the 10th, somewhere around there. Come check that out. I will give a little breaking news here. We didn't get into Mr. Smashmaster's love and affection for toys and action figures, but I heard I'm on the docket for the next round of those Galoob MLW figures.
No, really?
Nothing's promised.
I'll have to have one.
You'll have one first. But yeah, watch MLW, buy some dog rescue stuff, and leave me alone. Don't harass me.
Yeah, well, maybe if we get fans, we'll give them away as fan gifts or Patreons or something. When we
will be giveaways at some point, I promise.
You can see all my action figures behind me right here, but then all Hot Wheels cities over here.
Yeah, I'm wondering which ones are yours and
There's
which ones are the
five.
kids.
There's 5 glass cases back there, but it's all dark because I don't have that light on.
It's all right. I interviewed Vincent. He's in AEW, Ring of Honor. He was in Impact at the time, and he had all
Virgil?
those cases. No, not Virgil.
Vincent?
Vincent from the Righteous Horror Inc.
Vinny Marseglia.
Ironically,
riding
has the same barber now as me. Now that he moved to Tampa down here, smallest world in the world.
Yeah, well, he has all his horror stuff in cases and things like that. He's a big. That's
he is.
Yeah, the show's called The Horror King. So anyway, if you were here because you were a fan of Thomas's, or more importantly, you're a fan of Max, well, not more importantly, whatever you're here for, but Max Smashmaster or New England Academy, Rad Wrestling, whatever the case might be, and you got here by accident or specifically, if you just subscribe to Garden of Doom, you get 3 shows. You get the Garden of Doom, which by the time this drops, might or might not be rebranded as the Garden of Thought, but same feed, Garden Views. So Garden of Doom is like the History Channel, primetime and later. Garden Views is more like a traditional variety show. That's the short version. And GOD or GOD presents the Book of Black or the Gospel of Thomas. It's me and either Mr. Thomas or PJ Black, sometimes both, talking to people in and around wrestling about things that are generally in and around wrestling, but also things that are not in and around wrestling, depending on where the conversation goes. So if you like that and you like hearing things from wrestlers that you maybe, if you want to hear everything about wrestling, watch Chris Van Vliet. No one's better. If you want to hear, some more fun and off-kilter stuff, come on here. I don't think anyone else is doing it. Anyway, thanks very much to our guest, Max Smashmaster. Thank you for being on the show. Mr. Thomas, as always, we know that Boomaye is for the people. And one day you can tell me what is Baba Thunder still part of Contra, or is he working with Mike Mondo at NWA, or is he pulling double duty? I don't know.
Bomba Klutz for the people.
End this recording.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks.
So the other Sendai guy is some local dude named Dax.
Did you end it, or?
Yeah, I saw the thing.
There's no rules to the show. If Thomas speaks, we don't hit stop until he starts speaking. So
the other dude, the other Sentai Death Squad was Dr. Dax. He's like
Dr. Dax.
Was the other one Cash, and are they now known as FTR?
No, I swear to God, he's like our production guy, but he's just like he's like a Clearwater. He runs like shows in Clearwater.
I know. I remember when we talked to AJ, I think he was alluding to that. I'm like, no, I want to be the Owen Hart for the Boomaye. So.
All right, Big Scott. I got you.
Right.
You know where I'm going.
All right.
Going. Oh, I know where you're going.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to watch wrestling. I got to go. I got on board. Wait.
You got ladies to meet?
Yeah, just one.
Jesus.
Later.
See ya.
Later, all. Thank you.
All right. Yep. See ya.
More episodes of The Garden of Thought on the Wrestling Soup Network.
Follow Jeff Lippman on X at Those Evil.
And make sure to follow Mr. Thomas on X and Instagram at Mocha Traps.